Hey everybody, I'm Jacki Jing and I'm with Terri Schwartz, and what a week. 13 trailers dropping. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, they won't stop coming, but you said this is kind of typical around this time.
Yeah, it's a really exciting week. I love summer movie season because it means that we get great summer movie trailers, and because we have such big movies coming out. We have Ocean's 8, we have Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and Incredibles 2. All the movie studios wanted to get out really great trailers to get fans excited for the movies that are coming out, and I feel like it's safe to say it worked.
My favorite trailer was easily Halloween. I was watching this trailer and it was just really eerie, and one thing I like about it though is that this storyline is completely throwing out all of those, I mean, I'm sorry Halloween fans, in my opinion, awful sequels. I mean, but the first one was legendary. It's such an amazing horror film, and so the bar is set really high here, but I don't know. I mean, I was totally engaged.
You get that Halloween score come through the do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah. Oh.
And you just get chills and you get excited to see these characters back together. And sort of this, you're right, like we've seen a lot of Halloween movies, but it does feel like a new interesting take on Michael Myers and the whole dynamic. Though it is interesting that they now have what, like many continuities at this point. And now the only thing that's canon is the original Halloween and this movie. But it did get me really excited to see.
Yeah, I loved how one of the teenagers was like, oh, they weren't really brother and sister. I was like, oh, okay, all right, whatever,
it's canon now. It's canon.
I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I can't wait to see her back on the big screen.
And as it's going like full transition action hero, I'm like, I can believe I would be this traumatized.
Yeah.
This many years
and she was believable. Like, she didn't look cheesy when she was like handling the weaponry. I don't know. I'm really excited to see her in it. But I was talking with our video producer Tom earlier, but there were just parts of that trailer that just got you to the core. Like when he opened his hand over the bathroom stall with the teeth, we were both like, oh, like why? Like why would you have to go that far? And then also that closet scene.
Yes, you know it's coming, but even though it does, like it's exactly the moment that you want.
I screamed in our in our office, and everybody was like, "What is going on there?" But anyways, okay, so tell me, what was your favorite?
So my favorite this week, and you know, I thought it would probably be Halloween or maybe the Lego Movie, both of which I love, but it actually was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
So good.
I just really like what they're doing with the art style. It actually reminds me a lot of what Ang Lee tried to do with his Hulk movie, which is like give it that comic book feel. And I love those moments in the animation where it's like pop, pow, and like you can feel that action, that comic book element come in a completely new way. And also the Gwen Stacy reveal at the end, I just yelled, oh bleep. Yes, we have our MCU Spider-Man, but this version of the story and bringing in the Spider-Verse and having these interesting takes on the character, I think there's definitely enough space for both of these to be told. And this, like, I was already excited for this movie, but this really just put me over the edge in excitement.
Yeah, okay, both good #1 picks in my opinion. So for my #2, I was a little bit divided, but I ended up going with Mortal Engines. Okay, so I love sci-fi movies like Fifth Element and Dune, and I was talking to you earlier, I mean, we've just seen some terrible bombs at the box office, like Jupiter Ascending and Valerian.
And not just bombs at the box office, but maybe not
like
best
just bad movies. I just have so much hope because it's Peter Jackson. I mean, he killed with Lord of the Rings. I know people weren't thrilled with The Hobbit, but I still really enjoyed them as well. So I don't know, I'm kind of holding on to hope here that maybe this is the one that breaks this curse.
It's interesting because I was actually surprised by how well it did. Like a lot of people were watching it on IGN.com, and it is on paper like Peter Jackson doing a YA movie. But it does, I'm sort of with you. Like, I don't know that it was one of my favorite trailers of the week, but it definitely surprised me and showed something that I hadn't seen before. And I'm with you, like, I want to be optimistic as someone who loves Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings movies, that he can capture some of that magic in bringing this fantasy world to life.
Your #2 pick is awesome. This movie looks really good.
This is a movie I had no idea it even existed before this trailer dropped this week. I'm talking about Bad Times at the El Royale. If you haven't seen it, please stop what you're doing and go watch that trailer right now. It's from Drew Goddard, who, you know, did Cabin in the Woods, wrote The Martian, but this very much feels like a Cabin in the Woods to me, a movie I just love. And it also feels, the trailer just has so much style. That's like, it got me really excited for the movie, but in terms of being a great trailer, the sound design in it, like the quick cuts, the editing, it gives me chills. I'm thinking about sort of the end of the trailer, and there's this one character running outside the El Royale, is this like hotel motel that's supposed to be like on the border of 2 states, and she's running out, and just the way the music pulls in, it just looks so interesting and weird. And I don't really come out of it knowing much about what the movie's about, but I'm completely hooked.
We did have some honorable mentions. I'm wearing my Transformer shirt for a reason. I was super psyched about Bumblebee. I actually stayed up till midnight to watch the trailer drop on Twitter, and I was amped about it. I mean, I obviously love the 80s. The outfit's probably speaking for itself a little bit here, and I love the Transformers from the 80s as well. And I think Haley Steinfeld is fantastic, so I don't know. I hope that one delivers too.
Yeah, it's funny because I think we all were sort of expecting, given the track record of the recent Transformers movies, to not be in love with it.
Yeah.
But it's funny, it was brought up that it almost feels like it could just be a rehash of the first Transformers movie.
Yeah.
And I sort of was like, you know what? No, that's fine. I really liked that movie. Like, if it is that, if it has that charm and whimsy again of being about one story, I'm all on board.
Let's see.
My honorable mention is the Suspiria trailer. Now, this is from the director of Call Me By Your Name. It's also a remake of the Dario Argento Suspiria movie as well, and like definitely the trailer itself is pulling such Italian influences in there. It feels very 70s horror. It's a silent trailer as well, and just again sort of like the Bad Times at the El Royale, leaning on sound design and editing. And as things, it stars Dakota Johnson, who's also in Bad Times at the El Royale. Good week for her. But just like as it increases, it's another trailer. I came out of it having not seen the original, not knowing much about it, being like you, sort of being a big horror coward, not necessarily being hooked about it, but I was so just enamored with how well designed that trailer was.
It looks so scary, but it looks really, really good, really smart.
I also really loved, I mean, it's funny to me that this is my honorable mention because it was my favorite movie from a couple years ago, but the Lego movie too. Like it looks really great. It just has the same charm that I loved about the first one, but again, it felt a little bit like a traditional blockbuster trailer to me, and that's why it's my honorable mention, because I felt the other ones that we were talking about offered a little bit more in the great trailer front, which is always really exciting. It's great to see that craft showcased.
And you can check out all of these trailers on IGN.com. And we want to know, what was your favorite trailer? Make sure to put your answer in the comment section. And be sure to follow and subscribe to IGN wherever you like to watch.